Hello and welcome to Hosthub. This is going to be a quick demonstration of Hosthub's standard plan. So first view we've got is our dashboard. The dashboard is the main page of our system and it's where you'll have some quick and basic information. First information we have are the next check-ins for today, tomorrow or in 2 days, what you're currently hosting, and of course the next checkouts also again for today, tomorrow or in 2 days. To the right, we have a quick summary from the beginning of the year up to today's date with the total nights booked, the period payout, expenses, profit or loss, a graph that will have the total nights booked per month, and the channels that you're connected to in our system. Now, if we have a look at a booking, we can see that we've got a quick summary of the booking details. You can see we have the channel, which is Airbnb, the guest name, rental, check-in, check-out dates, and of course the total booking value. By selecting a booking is where we go into the details of the specific booking. In the details, we have all the booking details. This includes the type of the booking, when it was created, the reservation ID, how many guests. We've also got the guest details. Again, it includes phone number, email address, language, country, etc. And of course, all the price details, including the booking value, cleaning fee, any other fees or taxes that might be added directly in the channel, the total booking value, and of course, the host fees, like this is what the channel collects, and the total payout, which is what you received directly from this booking. At the very end also, we've got the manager fee and the owner payout, where you can add your own custom formula so our system can automatically calculate for each booking the amounts that go to the manager or to the owner, depending on the way that you work. Now, next tab we have is the setup tab. Very easily, the setup tab is where you do your first steps for your account. In the rentals is where you add your rentals directly for our system. Very easily, in here you create the rentals, so then our system can connect and synchronize with the listings. This brings us to the next step, which is the channels tab. And in here is where you connect the actual accounts that you're listed on. So you add your Airbnb accounts, your Booking.com accounts, VRBO accounts, any channel that your rentals might be listed on. This will trigger the automatic onboarding process from our system, where our system then will start the connection with each of the accounts. Next tab we have is the team management. In here is where you can give access to other users that you might be working together, and you want them to have specific access in your Hosthub account. This could be used for the cleaning crew, this could be used for a property owner. In the standard plan, we have the basic roles. In here you have 5 different roles, where according to the access that you want the user to have, you assign them and the specific role. We have ground crew, manager, property owner reporting, and read-only. Next tab we have is the inbox tab. In here is where you can also find our unified inbox. So in here we have the messages directly from Airbnb and Booking.com. As soon as a guest sends you a message, you've got the information directly in Hosthub and you respond to the guests directly from Hosthub. Of course, this will be sent directly through the channel, so you can keep all the messaging in one place through Hosthub. Also, we have the automated messaging, the scheduled messaging, where you can create some templates for messages to be sent to the guests automatically on different stages of the bookings. This could be for a booking confirmation, could be maybe a pre-arrival or a reminder for the house rules, could also be a thank you message before the checkout. Totally up to you. You can create any templates you might want, and these will automatically apply to all your bookings from the main channels. Next tab we have is the bookings tab. Pretty simple. This is the heart of the system. In here you have all the events for all your rentals. We also have filters where in here you can select for which rentals you might want to view, from which channels, and what type of events you might want to view. Booking events, block dates, preparation time, all the events. Depending on the filters that you have selected, you click search, it generates all the results. And from here, you can also export, if you want, this information in a CSV or an XLSX according with the information that you want to have also in the file. You might want to export only the financial export, which will have all the financial details, or maybe a more simple export, which will have the information of the bookings. Next tab is the calendar tab. So in here is where you can view specific for a rental, its actual calendar. This is going to be, of course, the synchronized calendar. From the top, you select the rental that you want to view, and then you have the synchronized calendar with all the information that is needed, the prices and the bookings, of course. A lot more useful and will become available as soon as you add your second rental in our system is the multi-calendar. In the multi-calendar is where you have a list for all your rentals underneath each other, and then on the right, you've got the calendar for each of the rentals. By selecting a date, in both calendars, of course, first thing you can do is you can change the rates. So you can select from and to dates, and then you can change the price. You can either change it for a set fixed price, or you can also increase it, decrease it by percentage, or increase it and decrease it by a fixed amount. You can also change, of course, and the minimum length of stay for these dates. Next thing you can do from the calendar is add an offline booking. This could be a direct booking that's done through you, maybe a friend, a repeater guest, somebody called you via email, anything like that. You can easily add all the information that you want for this booking, and you can add a booking. As soon as you click add booking, this is added directly in the Hosthub calendar, and of course our system will synchronize the availability to all the channels that you're synchronized with. Last but not least that you can do from here is also block dates. You can select the reason that you're blocking the dates, the title, and the notes that you want, so you can easily remember why it's a block date. Again, you click block dates. Of course, this updates the calendar, synchronizes it across the channels, so you avoid, again, any double bookings. From the multi-calendar, you can also search for the available rentals. You click the filter button, and then you select display only rentals with free dates. So that way you can easily search the availability for specific rentals if you want, and see what is available on those dates. Next tab we have is the rate management. So in here is where you can set up all the rates regarding your rentals. From the top, you select first of all for which rental you want to set up the rates. And then we have the default settings. In here, you fill in some base settings like your weekday rate, weekend rate, extra fee per person, after how many guests it applies, minimum, maximum length of stay, and some channel specific settings. And to the right, we've also got the exceptions tab, again displayed in the form of a calendar. You can select beginning and dates, and then on the right again, you can fill in any changes you might want to do to the rates. Next tab we have is the expenses tab. So in the expenses tab is where you can easily keep track of all your expenses. Instead of keeping track of your expenses in a Google Sheet or in an Excel sheet, you can easily click on the top right, add expense, and you fill in the form. First thing you fill in is the amount of the expense, let's say 500. You then select for which properties this expense applies to. If you select multiple properties, our system will divide it to a percentage for each, which is of course customizable. You can select if it's a single day expense or if it's a period expense by selecting beginning and end dates, maybe a utility bill, which is billed every month. And then you group the expense in a category. The categories are fully customizable, up to you. You create your own categories. You add the title of the expense, so that way you can easily recognize what expense it is that you added. And of course, you can also select to say if it's paid and the payment method. You save it, and it's added as an expense in our system. In here, you've got lots of filters again that you might want to view for specific rentals, or maybe from specific categories. You've got the period spending, period average daily spending, and most expensive category, a graph with the total expenses each month, and underneath you can see the period expenses and the spending by category in a graph. You can also have a look at all your expenses that you've added. So you just click list of expenses, and it displays all the expenses that you've added in our system. Again, you've got all the filters for specific dates that you might want to view, rentals or categories. And in the settings is where you can easily create your categories, any icon you might want, any name, and your payment methods. You add them, and then these are ready to be applied for any expenses that you might want to add in the future. Next tab is our reports. So in here, we've got lots of metrics that can help you get a better overview of your rentals. So we've got historical reports where you can view your profitability, maybe your revenue, maybe your host payout, your manager fee, owner payout. You can also view all the profitability metrics that we have available. And then, of course, you've also got your performance metrics. So like your revenue per available room, occupancy rate, average daily rate, total bookings, nights booked, etc. And again, of course, you can also go into details if you want for specific filters with time period that you might want to view, rentals, or also channels. Last but not least is our integrations tab. In here, you can view all the integrations that we have available. We have over 40 different integrations. Depending on what you're looking into, I do suggest you go in our website, hosthub.com, into the partners tab and have a quick look on all the integrations that we offer. So that is all for our standard plan. Thank you very much for your time. Any questions you might have, don't hesitate to contact us.